Give credit to the people who organize the reunion and do all the hard work to make something like this happen. This year we're going to kind of break from tradition, and I felt that we should recognize these people and thank them for their efforts. First of all, Maureen Vale Brown, who was our counsel and our wise person who had been through this before. We have Eileen Sparks-Seltzer. We have June Haynes-Ornelas. And Shirley Malloy. And I wasn't stubborn. Oh, and I'm Bob Coward. But the one person that we as a committee wanted to really introduce you to, a lot of you do not know who he is, only by name. But those of us who grew up on the east side of town, went to school number 3, knew Gus Churchill very well. He went all through grade school with us. He went to the Lutheran Church on the White Horse Pike with many of us. Was in Scouts with many of us. But when we went to 7th grade, Gus didn't join us. And he had a difficult time through junior high school and was subsequently asked to leave Audubon. But you know what? Gus didn't just go south. Gus joined the Air Force, served our country with honor, got out of the service, started a business, became a successful businessman. He got his GED, got his college education, and a master's degree after he left the service. And he made a success out of himself. And if it had not been for Gus's passion of Audubon, a lot of these people that are sitting in this room tonight, this would not have happened. Gus said in May, through some emails, he said, why don't we have a reunion? And somebody else up there said, good idea. Before you knew it, Gus is out looking for people, and he found many of you people in this room. And if it hadn't been for Gus's effort, this would not have happened. So I think we should all give Gus a really big hand. Yeah. Now, these are the 5 people that made this happen. I have 2 other special guests that I would like to introduce tonight. Don Borden, who is the present superintendent of schools of Audubon. And another gentleman that you all know very well, Calvin Engling, our principal. All right, I'd like to introduce Don Borden. He has a few words to say.
Bob made sure that it would be very few. How do I get this off here? I'll have to lean over. I first of all want to welcome you all back. For those of you that came to the reunion tour today, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. I really get a kick out of bringing. Thank you. I get a kick out of bringing people to places that weren't there when you were there. I'll never tire of that. A little brief resume, so you don't think I'm an interloper. I've been there 32 years. I came, Came in as a teacher and coached football with Joe Bendorf and Mike Narducci, two of my best friends in life. I married an Audubon girl, one of the Knolls, K-N-O-L-L, and many of you know some of them. She's one of 11. That's right. That in itself, I should be sainted. I had the privilege of being the principal at Mansion Avenue School. I was the athletic director for a while, and I will slip right past the athletic director position, if you don't mind, right now. And I really had the privilege of being Bill Westfall's replacement for 6 years as principal at Audubon Junior Senior High School, which was the best job I've ever had in my life, quite honestly. And people that knew me, not many of you, but some, Craig Daniels is here, who hired my wife at Washington Township. See Lee Whitaker, who I went to church with for any number of years. And Maureen, who's the neighbor of my mother-in-law, didn't really know me in my youth. But people that now know I'm superintendent, their first question is, can I say hell here?
Yeah.
How the hell did you become superintendent of Audubon High School? Well, I think it's important that I just give you this little story here. And that many of you are teachers, which tickled me. I talked to you earlier. But a man in a hot air balloon realized he was lost. And he reduced altitude and spotted a woman below, and he descended a bit more and shouted, "Excuse me, can you help me? I promised a friend I'd meet him an hour ago, but I don't know where I am." So the woman says, "You're in a hot air balloon hovering approximately 30 feet above the ground. You're between 40 and 41 degrees north latitude, between 59 and 6 degrees west longitude. You must be a teacher." And she said, "I am. How did you know?" He goes, "Well, everything you told me is technically correct, but I have no idea what to make of your information. And the fact is, I'm still lost. Frankly, you've been no help so far." She says, "You must be an administrator." Probably a superintendent. He says, "I am, but how did you know?" He goes, "Well, you don't know where you are. You don't know where you're going. You've risen to where you are through a large quantity of hot air. You made a promise which you have no idea how to keep, and you expect people beneath you to solve your problems. The fact is, you're in exactly the same position you were in before we met, but somehow, now it's my fault." I really come here just so connected to Audubon as a district and as a community. As I said, I've been there 32 years. I married a graduate of the school. We met, she coached, I coached basketball together, fighting over gym time. I have a son who may start varsity football as a sophomore this year, and will certainly play varsity basketball, which may be more of an indication of the team's prospects than his. He earned a varsity letter as a freshman in track. I have an 8th grader there, and I have a 6th grader and a 3rd grader coming through the system. I live on Lafayette Road in Clark's house, and I've been there for close to 20 years. So, you know, people say, "Do you have to go to these reunions?" I truly love the opportunity to meet you folks that have built the foundation that what we have now. And I think we still continue to be a very, very special place. I really am here to thank all of you for coming back, and also to thank Gus, because I know what he did to put this all together. I know from Bob, I know from Maureen, I know from other folks I have talked to, and certainly his efforts have led to a huge turnout. I go to reunions for classes that graduated in the mid to late 80s, and not nearly as many people are there. So he obviously is good at the strong arm tactics. From what I understand, there is no mob connection. So if you're worried about that, you're good. He's already been in to visit us at the high school and took us over for a few hours the other day. And as a result of that, Cal has something to present in respect for what he has done for all of us, for all of you. So I'll turn this over now to Cal England, who certainly, I heard it out there, he is a legend.